Right, George Rose, Sam Goodman's risking it all in this fight.
Absolutely, and against a guy who's got a very good record, undefeated in 26 fights. So putting it all on the line. But I mean, I understand the logic behind it. You know, he wants to beat Inoue, simple as that. And to do that, he wants to be as best prepared as possible. And this big fight, this very tough, very dangerous fight, will help him prepare for the monster that lies around the corner.
Does it worry you at all when fighters take on these challenges, when there is a big carrot at the end there?
Look, it worries me and it excites me. You know, the fact that they're putting it all on the line as a fan of the sport and as a fan of the fights, it's a fight that you got to get excited for, you know, the risk that's on the line. I'll be on the edge of my seat the whole night, no doubt, even leading up to it, like knowing the calibre of fighter that he's in against. It's nerve-wracking. It's absolutely nerve-wracking, but I'm excited because he wants to do that. He's going to put it on for his Wollongong fans, for this home base that he's got here, that he's building with every fight, and he's going to put on a great show, and it'll just build into the fight that he wants, and the fight that he really wants to win.
From your perspective, the Inoue fight, is it September, December? Is it, how are negotiations going there? Is it locked in? What's the status?
Nothing locked in at the moment. But he's still mandatory in two sanctioning bodies, so still makes it something that's very close around the corner. And as far as his team goes, they wanted this fight to prepare them to win. And I love the way that they put it. They said it wasn't a keep busy fight. It's a fight that's preparing them to win, because they don't want to just go in and participate in an Inoue fight. They want to win. They want to beat him. They want to beat a legend and become, you know, the new name in the division, the new name that everybody talks about, because, you know, I feel like a lot of people who have stepped in with him, they've been overawed by the monster, and they've turned up and they've not put on the performance that they probably could have. But Sam Goodman's preparing himself to step in and take everything away from Inoue.
What did you make of Sam hopping in the ring over there in Japan a few weeks ago?
I loved it, and he owned the moment too. You know, he jumped in, he had that Wollongong swagger, he had that bravado about him, and he puffed his chest out and he told him that he wanted his opportunity, and he said, either give me the belts or move on. And I love that attitude. You know, he stared him down. He got the opportunity to see him face to face, to be in that setting. You know, to where you've got 40,000-50,000 Japanese fans there supporting Inoue. He's felt that now. He knows what it's going to be like when he gets his opportunity. So I thought it was a very good move by them.
And a good bounce back fight here for Liam Wilson as well.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's a tough fight. You're stepping up in weight against a very well credentialed opponent. And a guy who knows that if he knocks Liam Wilson off, mate, it shoots his stock straight up as well. You know, it puts him straight back to where he'd been sitting. I like this fight. I like it a lot, and I think it's a great fight for Liam if he wants to step into this division and win here. Announces to Australia that he's the man in the lightweight division, and anybody who wants to fight in Australia in the lightweight division, come see Liam Wilson.
We saw George Kambosos lose to Lomachenko a few weeks back. Is that a potential fight there, Liam Wilson-George? I know Liam said he wanted that fight.
I think it's a great fight. I think it's a great Australian fight, and I don't know what George is planning to do with his career, and I know that after the fight, George's promoter said that they wouldn't be taking a Liam Wilson fight. They wouldn't consider that. I don't think he understands how big domestic showdowns are here in Australia, and the amount of people that will get behind a fight here in Australia. So it'll be a great opportunity, I think, for these two to put on a really big show here in Australia and get everybody behind it. You've got to pick a side. You know, you've got Liam Wilson, the Queenslander, fighting against George Kambosos, proud Sydney man, fighting out of New South Wales. So you've got a bit of state of origin going on there too. So it's a really great showdown, and I think it'll be a great fight. And I still think that George Kambosos could have a lot of great fights here in Australia. Depending on what he wants to do with his career, he could continue it here in Australia and have a lot of good fights. And Liam Wilson is one of those fights.
Watch this space, huh? Last time we spoke, Tszyu, Virgil Ortiz had just been announced. Thoughts on that fight? It's a cracking fight.
Look, I think people are more excited about that fight than most of the other fights on the card. You know, I think Terence fighting for the world title. You know, it's a world title fight, but it's not something that a lot of people are super excited about. The match that everyone is excited about is Tim and Ortiz, and it's a hell of a fight. It's a hell of a fight, and I'm looking forward to it. And I think it's a great fight for Tim to re-announce himself to the world and let Crawford and Spence and everybody else know that he's coming.
What's the path there for Tim? Is it the winner gets Crawford? Is that what your understanding, or how do you see it?
Well, look, when the other guys hold the belts, they call the shots. So when they're ready for Tim, they'll have to fight him. When they're ready for him, Tim's ready for anyone. He wants anyone. He'll fight anyone, and he's proved that in the past. He fears no man in that division, and will fight anyone on any notice, and he's proved that. So when they're ready for him, he's ready. He wants them big fights. He loves it. He's actually, he really is excited about them fights, and so am I. I can't wait for him to get the opportunity to step in the ring with the likes of Crawford and Spence, because they're big name guys. They're guys that we've all watched and admired from afar, and now we know we've got an Australian who can knock them off. We can't wait to see that happen.
And just on Spence, there was talk that potential fight against Sebastian Fundora in October in Dallas. How do you feel about that? Do you feel slighted at all that Fundora's maybe going a different direction?
Look, if it happens, good luck to him. Whoever wins the fight will happily fight either one. You know, whether it's Fundora, whether it's Spence, would happily fight either or. The allure of fighting Errol Spence at a sold-out Dallas Cowboys Stadium, I think that's really exciting. It excites, not only Tim, but I think the rest of us as Australians get an opportunity to travel over there and be live at that event. It'd be huge for an Australian fighter to be in that fight. And Tim Tszyu's the guy to do it, and I hope that happens that way. And if it will, either way, whatever way it happens, we're ready to go.
And what about Nikita? He mentioned last time potential hand injury. Is that going to keep him out for a few weeks, or what's the latest?
Yeah, look, his recovery from the last fight is just a little bit longer than anticipated. He could have been fighting now, but we'll make sure that he's ready to go, and as soon as he's ready to go, he's straight back in. So we'll have an announcement for you as soon as he's locked in for his next fight, and it won't be far off. It won't be far off at all. I know that we're all looking forward to seeing Nikita back in the ring, and once he's fully recovered and ready to go again, we'll have a good announcement for you.
And another signing of yours, Jai McAllister, big things planned for him as well.
Mate, it's good to have him with us. I know he's had a very tough couple of years. Now that we're able to help guide where he should be, he's got huge opportunities coming around the corner. Very big opportunities.
Thanks, man.
Thank you.